comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, doing another classics spin-off series. That's right, guys. Since I don't have that rich history of Batman, I decided to do a Batman Classics. That's right. We have a Spidey's Classics, we have Marvel Classics, and now we're going to have Batman Classics, where obviously Mike Spider Slayer will be reading old comics that have to deal with your True Detective, Batman, and before pre-New 52. And I want to read some of these stories. You know, these are some classic stories that a lot of comic readers have read, and there's a lot of them out there that I've never ever read before. So I feel like I'm just starting to scratch the surface with the character. And today's first issue is that we're going to be talking about Detective Comics, issue number 523. Here we can see the cover. Batman is doing battle against Solomon Grundy. That's right, guys. And pretty cool cover. Awesome old style logo there of Batman on there. And this book is actually written, which is so funny because I do so many Spider-Man reviews. This book is written by Jerry Conway. I had no idea. It just happened to be the first issue that I grabbed, and it's written by him. And the artist is done by Gene Colan and Tony DeZunga. Very classic style of art, obviously, here as we can see. This book takes place in 1983. That's right. Back in the day where we had Bubble Yum was all the craze, and Atari was advertised in comic books, and yes, this brings back a lot of memories. We even have a Magnum PI model kit. Who's up for that, huh? So crazy stuff in the advertisements. But we get to see what Solomon Grundy looks like. We can see the classic um, newspaper style of print and colors. So things just look obviously a little dated, but that's okay because that just brings you back to, comic books the way they were back in the day here. So yeah, it just really kind of shows its age. Here's Batman getting out of the Batmobile there. So pretty cool stuff. So what was this actual book about? Well, the title is called Inferno. And here we get to see a fist coming out of the sewers. And you get that classic, old style comic where you punch something and the sound effect comes. And I think that's really brilliant. I really love that. And we find out that Commissioner Gordon, who has made his return here in the series as he's been away, which I'm not sure of, is investigating a crime scene that's happened where all these furs are being stolen. And what happens is Batman quickly gets on the scene and welcomes Commissioner Gordon back. And he finds that there's these spores or this mold that's on this mannequin. So what does Batman do? Batman goes back and he takes the head of the mannequin back to Wayne Manor and goes to the Batcave and does some crazy investigating. In the meantime, you find out that this gang actually kind of found Solomon Grundy, kind of appeared from the sewers, and they kind of like found him. And the head person of this gang actually is talking to Croc, which is it Killer Croc? I'm not sure, but you wind up seeing the man in the mysterious green trench coat, and he was part of this gang. And since they found Solomon Grundy, they're feeling overconfident. And Croc just walks away and says, "I don't wish you good luck." He's like, "I think you're in over your head." So he winds up taking off and abandons the gang. And then in the particular issue, you wind up finding Alfred is worried about Bruce on him working way too much, and like usual. And he finds out that it's Solomon Grundy. And the book does a pretty good description of telling you how Solomon Grundy was dead, and somehow now he's been reborn, and he's traveled through the sewers, and he's made his way through Gotham. And so what happens is Batman goes and he meets up with Solomon Grundy to do this epic battle, and they wind up fighting against each other. And Solomon Grundy's mad because he likes the mannequins and he thinks they're toys, and he likes to snap their heads and break their hands and does all this crazy stuff, and Batman is just all, getting in his face, and Solomon Grundy doesn't like that. He's like, "Oh, you make Grundy mad," and he starts talking like that. So what happens is Batman winds up bringing Solomon Grundy into the incinerator, and he winds up, I guess, basically torching him. And I was like, holy shit, that's pretty violent stuff. Like, he gets incinerated. So, and then you see Batman driving away in the factory, and you get to see the ashes of Solomon Grundy like flying away. It's like, okay, what happens to Solomon Grundy there? So really interesting stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. And then at the end of this issue, you get a little short story on Green Arrow, which is kind of a bonus little feature in there as well, which I thought was pretty awesome too. So, yeah, really cool book. I mean, this book was made again in 1983 in February. The cost 60 cents. So after reading this book, I thought it was a fun little adventure here. Not very in-depth story plot, but it was just a good adventure. Reminded me of just like your Saturday morning cartoon, This week's episode of Batman, we fight Solomon Grundy. That's kind of where it was. And it was cool to see, Batman do this battle and him doing his little mysteries and things like that. And it was cool seeing Alfred, worry about him. Definitely not in depth of the way stories are told today, but it's just a fun read. And if you're a comic reader, you'll definitely appreciate this book. So after reading this issue, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm looking forward to doing more of these Batman classic reviews, so I get to read a lot of these Batman stories for the first time and get to share it with all of you. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Corner 2.0. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.